Welcome to Horse Talk Live. Enjoy the next hour learning more about the people, places, and products of the horse industry. And now, Horse Talk Live on Rural TV.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming to join us for Horse Talk Live on Rural TV. I'm your host, Lizzie Iwerson. Today we're learning about the family equine POA, and we have two folks here with us today, one from Texas and one from Michigan. They've both, is it Michigan or Minnesota?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, I'm all over the place. Okay, well we have Pat Burton and Christina Bloomquist, and they're both here to talk about their love for the POA, all the different things that they can do with these POAs, and what great family equines they make. So the two of you, thanks for coming to be part of our show today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Lizzie.
And we've gotten to spend some time this afternoon getting to know each other, and Christina learning about your horse Sierra and all the events that you compete on her with, and Pat, the years that you've been involved with POA are more than just a few, and you have some children that have grown up through the POA ranks as well.
That's right, Lizzie. I've been in the POAs all my life. My family growing up was involved with POAs. My older brothers were riders, and I came along, and it was a natural progression that I fall into line, and I've just stayed with it through the years. My kids all performed on POAs and showed POAs. Thought it was one of the best things that they've ever done.
All right. Well, let's show people a video to get them used to or see what it is that we're going to be talking about, this horse that we're going to be talking about today. We'll run that video.
Majestic, loyal, powerful. Horses were with us when this great country was founded. Horses have always had a coveted position throughout history. This special bond has helped us explore new parts of the world, save countless lives, and build amazing things. In 1954, the Pony of the Americas breed was originated to provide the perfect blend of temperament and athleticism for young riders to learn to ride, train, and show. In addition to being gentle and easy to train, the Pony of the Americas has a unique look all its own. The characteristics of the POA include white sclera, striped hooves, mottled skin, visible color, and they are between 46 and 56 inches tall. As you can see, Pony of the Americas are a unique and special animal that will provide a lifetime of memories and craft an unforgettable experience. We look forward to seeing your family at our next event.
All right. Well, that gives our viewers a taste of the POA. And like we mentioned, they're a great family equine. Both of you are representing your families here today. Christina, tell us how you got started showing POA.
Well, my mother, when we were younger, very young, she was interested in horses. She had her own quarter horses. And when she started looking for a pony for us, when we were like 5 years old, she was interested in the POAs. Someone told her about a local show that we had around our area. So she went and visited and was interested in a single pony that she saw there. Uh-huh. And I expressed interest in having a white pony and then getting all pink brushes and tack and everything, because I was a 5-year-old girl,
right?
yeah. And we got the white pony and all the pink brushes and everything. And but unfortunately, my brothers also had to use the pink stuff because we all shared that pony for the first year or so. And then we eventually all got our own ponies, and we started showing at the local open shows. Mm-hmm. And then as we kept riding, we became more interested in all the POA shows.
And you haven't looked back since. This is the horse for you, POA.
Yeah.
So tell us now, you've moved up, changed age groups and everything. And so what do you compete in now?
Everything. I compete in costume class, halter, showmanship, equitation, horsemanship, hunter in hand, the English and Western pleasure, jumping, speed events, and reining and Western riding.
Okay, and that's a lot of events,
yeah.
And typically competitors would probably have more than just one horse for all of those, and you get to do it on Sierra, just one good horse, yeah. Right? Pat, can you give us a little history about the POA?
Well, the POA was started in 1954, and it was originally a cross between a quarter horse, or a small Appaloosa, mm-hmm. and a Shetland pony.
Okay.
But since that, it's evolved into a breed that's much more like a small quarter horse or stock type horse. We've got a lot of breeding from those stock type horses in our bloodlines, because the pony we have now is not that little pony with the fat neck that you think about stealing
right.
carrots. It's a pony that looks very much like a small horse, and they move like a small horse. We're evolved into a using individual and athletic horse, and in order for an animal to do all of those events all day long, they have to be extremely versatile.
You bet they do. So how now, since you started out in POAs and you were a child then, have they evolved into a different breed now?
Well, the look of the breed is a lot different. There's still a lot of the same feel of the breed, and that's the people and the characteristics are there. The POA is between 11.5 and 14 hands. That's
Okay.
46 to 56 inches tall. But some of those ponies will weigh nearly 1,100 pounds, and they can carry an adult rider.
Okay.
We have, all the way from our 6 and under riders in lead line, all the way to competitors in our JPFC program, 19 and over program, trainer riders, and we have competitors as old as 70 in some of our events that will do some driving events.
Okay. And in order to register a POA, are there certain characteristics they have to meet?
Yes, there are. In order to show a POA, they have to have characteristics and color that can be visible at 40 feet.
Okay.
And they're inspected, and then they're also measured up until they're 6 years old. And then at 6, they can get a permanent height card, and they won't have to be inspected after that time.
Okay, and who does the inspecting?
We have national inspectors and state inspectors. So there's quite a number of inspectors across the United States, and at every show there's inspectors or inspectors group that'll check the ponies there and qualify them.
Okay, and typically would you say that their markings are that of an Appaloosa?
Very similar to an Appaloosa. There's about 9 coat patterns that we recognize, and the sclera around the eye, the mottled skin is one of the characteristics, and the bold striping on the hoofs,
Okay.
as well as the coat pattern.
Okay, do you have all 9 of those coat patterns memorized?
I don't have all 9 of those coat patterns memorized, but the thing about it is there are even ponies that will exhibit multiple coat patterns in our breed.
Okay.
So they're very, very colorful, and I think that's one of the neat things about
You
the
bet.
POA. No two are alike.
Right. And they have to be visible. I think that's interesting at 40 feet. So it can't, it has to be some definitive
They're very
marking.
distinct and very easy to recognize.
Okay. And these days, when we hear that term pony, you're exactly right. When we think of the short, stubborn, typical pony, but these are little small horses that are just as athletic and versatile as a quarter horse per
The
se.
way that they're designed, they're a lot more athletic in their muscle design. They're longer and cleaner in their neck, and they're more horse-like. They're just in
Okay.
a smaller package.
Well, what has made the POA so popular over the years? What has kept you and your family involved?
I thought it was the best place for my kids to start out in horses because they're sized to the youth. And the smaller ponies, the 50-inch ponies, are perfect for a beginner rider to start out on.
Sure.
And they're one that they can manage, but also it teaches a kid responsibility to care for and to prepare their own animal. And these kids, even as young as 6 and 7, are very competitive riders, and they will compete all day long, just like Christina said, in every event. And they prepare and work with their own horses.
You bet. Well, tell us, so what are the different age groups? Kids can get started that young?
The 6 and under, and then we
Okay.
have actually an 8 and under age group, and that will be transitioning that rider from the lead line rider to the walk trot, and then on to the 3-gated walk trot canter classes. And then we have the 9 through 12 and the 13 to 18.
Okay.
And then recently we've added our 19 and over group, and we also have what we call a JPFC, or Junior Pony Futurity Classic, which is basically for riders that are 19 and over, and that's competing on young horses 2, 3, or 4 years old.
Okay. And Christina, what is it about your horse or the horses that you've had in the past, the POAs, that you've really thought are distinct or different from other horses?
Definitely their disposition. They're bred to have good temperament. They're
Okay.
patient, and they're very athletic and versatile, which I like a lot. Just being at the show all day, doing all those classes. My pony in particular, I think she can do all the classes because she's so smart. A lot of the ponies are very smart, and it takes a lot of intelligence to do all those classes and know what to do in each one.
Okay. Tell us about her. We see her on the screen right here.
I love her. She's my favorite pony. We definitely had some rough years at the beginning because she was 4 and I was 10.
Okay.
So we've definitely grown together.
Sure.
We both didn't know how to do any of our classes at the beginning when we both met each other, but now we know how to do everything and we learned it together, and I think that's just great. That's
And
why I
how
love
old
the
is she
POAs.
now?
She is 12.
Okay, and you named off some of those great classes that you're a participant in, and we get to see some video later on. And you showed me your nice belt buckle that you recently won for being such an all-around contestant. But that's the beauty of it, is the fact that these are all-around horses, but they have all-around riders as well. So not only are they great horses, but you're creating great riders.
Very true. And it also gives the kids a responsibility. Caring for the horse and being responsible for them on a day-to-day basis is also a very important part of the program.
Right, and I'm sure you can testify that your children have benefited greatly from this.
Absolutely. And the friendships that they make from the shows, the camaraderie and the sportsmanship, it just carries through right on to their entire life.
Are you friends, Christina, with a lot of the kids that you show against?
Yeah, I make a lot of friends there. It's awesome.
And it's all very competitive, but still very friendly as well. Somehow you maintain a good relationship.
A lot of my best friends are definitely my greatest competitors, which I think is great. It's a good lesson in life to be kind to your competitors.
You bet. Good for you for already knowing that. You're way ahead of a lot of people, that's for sure. I'm sure your parents are very proud of you. Now, can folks get involved in any state in the United States, or is it state-specific for POA?
There are some states that have a larger population of POAs. The Midwest has a large population of POAs. They originated in Iowa, and there's shows throughout the United States.
Okay.
In each region, there are major shows, and then our premier show is our Congress show. It's going to be in Lake St. Louis this year, and it's a premier event where there'll be competitors from all over the United States and perhaps Canada as well.
Okay.
That event will have approximately 500 ponies, and the competitors will probably exhibit in nearly 2,000 classes.
Oh my God.
So.
All right, well, there's no shortage of competition going on when it comes to POA. Well, we're going to take a short break, but fear not, we will be back with more. We got some great video of Christina competing, and also more video of kids all across the country competing on their POAs, and you can see what a great horse it would make for you and your family. We'll learn some of the stories about the horses being passed down generation to generation. So stick around. We'll be back with more on Horse Talk Live. Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to Horse Talk Live. I'm Lizzie Iwerson, and today we're talking with folks representing POA, the Pony of America's Club. We have Pat Burton and Christina Bloomquist here with us today. And Christina, you've been a competitor for years now. How many horses have you had and competed on?
I would say probably I've ridden 6 or 7 horses.
Okay, and now you have Sierra.
I have Sierra, and I have another pony gelding named Fritz.
Okay, and so you and Sierra have been had a partnership for a few years now, and you said that at first it wasn't totally smooth. So what have you learned from working with her for a few years?
Definitely determination and patience, a lot of patience. She was kind of a crazy mare at the beginning, and I was kind of a crazy child, so we definitely had to work together, lots of practice at home, and a lot of time management at home because I had to practice every single day for her and for myself to get better
And it's
together.
definitely paid off. What are some of the titles that you are most proud of?
I'm definitely most proud of my Leonard Lewis Futurity Champion title because the horse that I won it on, Fritz, we had some tough times also at the beginning of the summer last year, and at the regional, I was in tears after a pleasure class, so it was really awesome with my brother there who used to ride the horse, Fritz, before me, so it was really great.
Good. Well, we have some video recently of you competing on Sierra, and I think this is great. It's going to give our viewers an idea. You are a competitor. You're out there competing against kids your own age and putting in a lot of time and effort, which you're an example for everybody. Great representative of POA. So we'll watch this video of Christina and Sierra.
2011 Leonard Lewis Memorial Futurity. Congratulate entry number 449. First place, winning $1,010. Kind of passing along the tradition here, a hug from Aaron, who has raised this pony.
Perfect. Well, Christina, are you an anomaly doing all of these events, or do you show against a lot of people that
No,
are?
there's a lot of people that stay there all day.
Okay.
We love to do all the classes together, and a lot of the times it's people's first time doing the class, because it's not fun all the time. Like the most fun part of it isn't being good at everything; it's just doing everything and having fun doing it.
Well, that is a busy day if you have all those classes going on, and thank goodness that it's such a family-oriented sport and that your family's there to help you. I'm sure you have some outfit changes and tack changes that have to occur during the day. Well, what is it about these horses that makes them able to compete in all these different events and keep their wits about them?
Well, I think one of the things is the disposition the horses have. They're really bred for disposition, and a lot of the breeders select their breeding stock based on just how gentle they are and how they respond, as well as their movement and their kindness and how trainable they are.
So are new bloodlines coming in? How do you keep it diversified in the gene pool here? And what's the regulations on the quarter horses or outside breeds coming in?
Well, the outcrosses are listed in the handbook. There's several breeds that can be outcrossed to the POA.
Okay.
And then we have the foundation breeders that breed POA to POA.
Okay.
But a POA is any horse that is a POA parent, and then when the application is made, they must qualify with the characteristics and the color, as we mentioned before, in order to be show eligible. They can be a breeding stock animal and not exhibit those characteristics, but still be used in a breeding program.
Okay. And it really is important, beyond looks and conformation, their temperament and their mind is something that people really pay a lot of attention to.
Absolutely.
And that's why Christina's able to take her horses and do flat classes and then the games, one right after the other, and your horse just comes right back to you. So tell us, in that video we saw Fritz, who's a younger horse, and you were competing in the futurity. So POA obviously has futurity classes. So either one of you explain when that got started and what classes those are.
That was the Leonard Lewis Memorial Futurity at the International Show or National Congress in Lake St. Louis at the National Equestrian Center. And there's also a lot of other futurities there, like 18 and under futurities for 4 and 5-year-olds and 2 and 3-year-olds. Okay. And there's JPFC, which is an all-summer for 19 and over trainers, riders who are riding younger ponies.
Okay.
And also at the National Congress, there is the Daniels Futurity, which is an English riding pleasure futurity, and the McLaren, or the Maple Meadows. And then the McLaren is at the Reichert Celebration.
Okay, and so when did you bring the futurity into the show program?
The National Futurity Programs, it's been involved since the 70s.
Oh, okay.
But it's really gained a lot of popularity, and there are these various other futurities that Christina mentioned about the 18 and under futurity specifically, and then there's some that are for all age riders and some that are basically for young ponies, but that are open for different riders will actually change ponies to enter these different futurities. So it's kind of a fun deal too. And she mentioned the McLaren Futurity. It's now moved to the Reichert Celebration, which is an all-breeds horse show event held in Fort Worth, Texas. And McLaren's probably one of the oldest futurities, named after Charlie McLaren, who was a longtime POA breeder who was killed in an accident. And the McLaren Futurity has just kind of been the foundation for the rest of the futurity programs.
Okay, and have you had a lot of great response to that? A lot of people showing in the futurity?
Absolutely. It's very competitive.
I think a great thing about the McLaren is that it's for youth riders and adult riders.
Okay.
So it's really fun for the youth to be competing against the trainers and the adults.
Yeah.
And I remember my brother, Eric Bloomquist, he won on the McLaren on his Pony Rough and Tough Impulse when he was a youth rider. And it was so cool for all of us. It's like, you beat your trainer. It's like, how awesome is this?
That is great. Well, tell us more about the Reichert celebration. This is a show that I'd never heard of. So, but you said it was really a big show.
It's probably one of the largest all-breed horse shows in the country. It's in Fort Worth, Texas in September, and it includes all the stock horse breeds, the paints, the quarter horses,
Okay.
Appaloosas, and the POAs are part of that. This will be our third year with the Reichert celebration, and we've got a full slate of classes there as well as a sale, and we've got a 2-year-old incentive class, and it'll pay out about $20,000.
That's big money. And the Reichert, say that again, where that takes place?
The Reichert, it's in Fort Worth, Texas, and
Okay.
it's in September.
Okay. And then the Color Breed Congress is another one that you participate in.
Yes, we were invited to the Color Breed Congress, and that's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we've been a part of the Color Breeds Council Judges Seminar since its inception. And we entered the Color Breed Congress last year, and we'll be back again this year with our ponies. And it's really an all-breed event, and I think it's really the trend for horse shows in the coming years to have more of these all-breed events.
Well, it really opens, the doors for so many other competitors. So, have you been to those, Christina?
I have not yet been to the Reichert,
Okay.
but I'm going this year. I'm really excited.
All right. Well, good luck to you on that one. And so, what are some other shows? Are there local shows for people to go to, smaller, if they want to just get started?
Yes, state shows.
Okay.
The state shows are really great for beginning riders because there are smaller ones and bigger ones, but at both of those size shows, there's a great atmosphere for beginning riders or people who want to get involved. So if you want to get involved, all you have to do is go to a local show that's going on, and
Okay.
everyone will go out of the way to help you and inform you about our great breed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Need not be intimidated when you first show up.
Well, and there on our POA website, there's a listing of all the shows, and you can go to that and find a show in your area.
Okay.
And there's some themed shows, like the Spooktacular, for instance, that has a theme, and it's a lot of fun. There's going to be a big costume classes there. And
There's stall to stall trick or treating. There's a tunnel of terror, which is really fun, and then we have costume contests and
Yes, which is a big deal in the POA.
yeah, there's a lot of fun youth activities that happen at these state shows.
Well, youth seems to be a reoccurring theme here when we're talking about POAs, and that's wonderful. We're always trying to get more kids involved with horses, not only because we love horses, but we love the things that the benefits of being around horses at a young age. And Christina's a great example of that. She is on her way to great things when it comes to horses and beyond. So anyways, we're going to take a little break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking more about POAs here on Horse Talk Live, so stick around.
Some of the best reasons to join the Pony of the Americas Club are not even about the horse itself. The friendships I have formed, the experiences I've created, and the memories I have made at every event make the Pony of the Americas a great choice for me and my family. My parents will love the affordability of the POA as well as the versatility of the horse in participating in a variety of events and shows all year long. POAs are a breed that can be trained by my parents, brothers, and sisters, and then passed down to my younger family members to show and compete. Kids of all ages from as young as 3 up to 18 enjoy the shows and events that surround the big competition. My parents bring our entire family to enjoy the festivities. Oftentimes, we will camp and play together at the events, bringing our family together working towards the same goals. POA is a youth-focused breed. I have made and will maintain lifelong friendships with my fellow competitors, as well as build a strong bond between me and my POA. Are you ready to get in the saddle? Show this video to your parents and grandparents if you want to ride with us.
Welcome back to Horse Talk Live. I'm Lizzie Iwerson, and we're talking about the perfect family equine POA. With me today is Pat Burton and Christina Bloomquist. Both are active in the POA Association, and Pat, you're actually a judge.
Yes.
So what exactly, when you're a judge and you go to a show, are you responsible for judging every class during that day? Because we've learned there are a lot of classes.
There are a lot of classes, but yes, we judge from start to finish the entire day.
Okay.
And you know, it's really interesting to see riders develop from year to year. You'll see a kid that starts out and in the first year they're having some difficulty, and by the time they're there at the end of the season, they've come a long way.
You bet. And that's one of the things that's great about the POA is that you can track horses. You see, you've talked about the generations and that they usually don't stick with just one family. After you've outgrown one, then they get passed down to someone else who wants to work their way up.
I talked about my first pony, Foxy, that I had when I was an 8 and under. And when I grew out of her, when I went into the 9 through 12 division, she went on to another family that had 3 children in 8 and under. And now she's 29 years old, and she still has a job as an equine therapy pony at an equine therapy program for mental health therapy.
I think that's just a wonderful story.
And I also volunteer there, and it's great to see her and kind of come full circle.
I'm sure. So what is your job when you go and volunteer?
I help with all the horse duties, like cleaning out the pastures and feeding them and whatnot. And then I also kind of help teach the children or adults who are in the program the different, like an example is I teach them different trail obstacles to go over with either in hand or on the horse, and just different things that I've learned riding my POAs and teaching them the different skills of riding.
Well, I bet she has made, after all of her experience, she probably makes for one heck of a therapy horse. Oh, Foxy. Yeah. Well, one class that you had mentioned to me earlier was the versatility class. And it's more than, I guess, why don't you just explain it to us, Christina, what exactly the versatility is?
It's a big spectacle at the National Congress in Lake St. Louis. There's a class called Versatility, and it's kind of like the big event, I think, that everyone likes to watch. And the rider and the pony do 4 classes, open jumping, Western pleasure, English pleasure, and a speed event, which is barrels.
Okay.
And we never leave the arena. They bring in trucks and trailers of all of our tack and our clothing that we change everything, and like, I don't know what the time limit is. It's just a few minutes.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy. And we also, it's kind of like each person has their own team, like a fan club in the bleachers, and everyone's screaming, and it's just a good time. It's great.
And the horses stay calm throughout all of this commotion?
Yeah, they're good ponies.
It's a testament to the versatility of the breed.
For sure.
Yeah, they go from one class to another, and it's just it's pretty amazing to watch them. But it's a lot of fun. That's what it's all about. It's
You're
just a lot
right,
of
and
fun.
that's what it sounds like, that these shows are more than anything just a fun way to get out and ride your horse or your POA and make friends and have some healthy competition along with it. Well, we have more video that shows the versatility of the POA, all the different classes that you can compete on when you decide to be a participant. So we'll go ahead and watch that. Well, I don't know about you, but the thing that stood out in that video to me was the costume class. And that's, people are taking that pretty seriously. And you're one of the serious competitors, Christina.
The costume class is a ton of fun. It's the first class of the day, so
Okay.
at 7:30, all of us kids get dressed up in our costumes, and we're all like kind of half awake.
Yeah.
But when we get into the class, we all get pretty crazy with our stories and everything, so it's a good time.
So it's more than just the costume. What else is involved?
We make our own story, so we have to be really animated and be our character.
And you recite like your story to the judges?
Right.
Okay, so you're doing more than just showing your horse. You have to be proficient at speaking then as well.
And that's a big part of it. About 80% of that's judged on the story. So the costume is part of it, but really the story makes the costume class.
Wow.
And it's a 2-minute time limit. They have 2 minutes to explain what their costume is or what it's about.
Okay, and Christina, we saw you were ahead of the lion in there, and you were dressed as,
An Arabian princess.
okay, so what was kind of your story on that one?
We kind of created our story from 1001 Arabian Nights, so I had an enchanted horse and we
Okay.
flew through the skies and everything, and there was trouble, but then I was saved and rescued by my prince and everything like that. So
Well, just another skill that these kids are learning then, speaking in public and being put in the spotlight. You know, that's kind of nerve-wracking when you're a youngster, but once again, you said it's something that your kids really learned from.
It builds character, and you know, just learning the patterns, learning how to make the horse do certain obstacles in the trail pattern, for instance.
It's such a good point. Yeah.
Or making the horse pivot in the showmanship, learning how to make them stand up, where to be, and how to best present your horse. It's all part of it.
Yeah, and the nerves that go along with that, you know, remembering that pattern when you get in there and you're the only competitor. I remember being very nervous those days, but
It's
that's a
amazing.
great point.
it's amazing how the 8 and under kids are remembering all their patterns. I mean, we do all the classes in one day, and so there's like 4 or 5 patterns that they have to remember, and it's definitely probably very difficult, but it helps, I think, in memory and just
Sure. That's
think
something you
they're
don't
very
really think
quick.
about, but it is just another benefit to being involved in horse showing and especially POA, because there's all these classes that you get to choose from and compete in. Well, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we have more video and great pictures of kids and their POAs and families as well. It's the family equine, the POAs. Stick around. We'll be back with more on Horse Talk Live. Welcome back to Horse Talk Live. I'm Lizzie Iwerson. We just showed you some great images from kids in their POAs, kids of all ages, and obviously having a great time showing these horses. It makes me miss the show circuit. And one of those horses you said had been passed down generation after, was it 3 generations?
Yeah, the Katzenbergers, that was their pony, Jay and Just a Gold Rush, and Jace is in 8 and under. And he rides that pony in everything, just like I ride my pony in everything.
Yeah.
And his father actually rode that pony, Jared, when he was younger too. So it's just been passed down right through the family.
And that's,
Jared's mother is Judy, is actually one of our national directors.
okay.
And her father was one of the founders of the breed, Art Schoenfeld.
Wow.
So it's been in the family for a long time.
Do you feel that the POA is one big family? Do you know a lot of people when you go to shows?
It is. It's just like a collection of families that makes one huge family. Everyone's kind to each other. Everyone cares about one another. Everyone wants to know how they did, how they're doing. And it's great.
And the POA Association is giving out a lot of special awards, and the Bloomquist family received one last year. Is that right?
They certainly did. They were the recipient of the Family of the Year Award, which is a very prestigious award, and they have to be nominated by their people in their state, and it goes through quite a process in order to achieve that. And they're quite befitting of it because they're such great competitors and great sportsmen, as well as being so active in promoting the breed throughout the country.
You and I met your mother earlier. The both of you are great advocates for the POA, and I congratulate you on all the things that you're doing with your horses. It's just wonderful. You're quite a horsewoman. Well, what if somebody hasn't had any experience with POAs? What's the best way to get involved?
Well, probably the best place to start would maybe be the national office and contact Joyce. She is our chief executive officer and our executive secretary. She does a wonderful job of putting people in connection with the right people to get them a pony.
Okay.
And throughout the United States, there's a lot of really good breeders. But we also have, in October, we have a national sale, and we'll offer about 200 head of ponies at our national POA sale in October, and that'll be in Des Moines, Iowa. And there'll
Okay.
be everything from weanling foals to finished show horses.
So that's a great place to go.
Absolutely.
And at the website, are there classifieds there?
There are classifieds and also links to state clubs where they'll find more classifieds.
Okay.
And some of the state club websites are really, really good in the fact that they'll keep you abreast of all the upcoming events and really keep you tuned in on what's going on in the POA world.
Okay. And there's sites like dreamhorse.com where you can go and type in what you're looking for, and you can click POA and sort through all those to find one as well. What about if you just showed up to a show and asked around? Is that a good way to find a horse?
That's a great way. Everyone wants more people to be involved in POAs because they realize what a great breed it is. And we're really welcoming to anyone who wants to join our POA family. It's a great time, and we just all love our ponies. It's a great way to join the POA family is to come to the shows and just get involved in the network, because that's really where you find the good ponies.
And tell us about the journal. You have a POA journal.
Right, we have a magazine. It's a monthly publication, the POA magazine, and you can actually read the cover story, the feature articles on our website as well.
Okay.
And I'd also like to say that, you know, the ponies are just, you know, they're just something special. There's something special about them, and it gets into your blood, and, you know, they're friends that you make, you keep forever. But it's a very, very good environment from the standpoint that if you're a new family coming in, it's also economically affordable. A lot of times the shows will have a show-all-day fee, and that actually helps you out if you're going to show through the entire gamut of classes.
You bet.
And then also ponies are a bit more affordable than some of the mainstream horse breeds. And you can show up with a $100 saddle or a $5,000 saddle.
Right.
You can still be competitive on a POA.
Well, that means a lot to people, especially this day and age. And if you know that you can pass that horse down from kid to kid and they'll get used and appreciated, that means a lot. And not always are you, being judged on the horse. It can be just the rider too. So if you're working on your horse, what are some of the classes where it's just judged on the rider?
Well, the showmanship class and then also our classes of equitation and horsemanship, they're judged on the rider or the showman.
Okay.
And our other events are like the pleasure classes, a hunter under saddle example, Western riding, reining. Those are judged on the way the horse performs, of course guided by the rider and cued by the rider. But they're basically on how the horse performs. So there's something for everyone.
Well,
Really.
most definitely. Or you can be like Christina and showing all of them. Christina, what's your practice schedule like? How do you practice all these events?
Well, we have definitely a lot of time management.
Yeah.
We have to give them a few days of break after the shows because there's a lot of running and working in those
Yeah.
shows for the horses, and so we have to treat them well and give them their rest. And then the few days before the next show for the next weekend, it's just like one day, ride both of the horses in something specific, what I think I need to work on,
Okay.
have a lesson, an example of something that I need to work on, especially with a specific coach would be like jumping. I need to work with a
Okay.
jumping coach on a lesson on a specific day, just to make sure I keep it up with everything.
So
'cause there's
you
lot
are a
to
busy
do.
girl.
Yeah.
And if you're working all year towards, in this competition, are there year-end awards, or how does the award system work in POA?
Yes, there's a national convention at the end of the year that we hand out all of the year-end awards for the national points, and I don't know.
Well, and the year-end awards are just a part of it. Those are at the convention. But also each state usually has year-end awards as well.
Okay.
So even riders who are just beginning are probably able to compete for some type of award.
Okay.
Everybody gets something. And in our lead line classes, for instance, they are judged. They are very competitive, but every rider will get an award.
Okay. Well, that's important. And you have some special awards as well. We learned about the Family of the Year that the Bloomquist received. What else do you have for people?
We give an award for the oldest pony that comes to our national congress, and that
Perfect.
pony might be 30 years plus. Some of the ponies that are competing are still up in age, but they're in very good condition. They're well taken care of. They're well maintained, and they're quite healthy.
You bet. And any other awards that you want to mention?
Well, in addition to that, we have the NSBA awards. We're eligible and able to compete for NSBA awards. That kind of goes hand in hand with the Reichert celebration because a lot of our NSBA classes are held at major events like the Color Breed and the Reichert celebration.
Okay. And you're also offering scholarships for competitors?
Every year, we usually have anywhere from 3 to 6 competitors that will qualify for scholarships. Those are given on a national basis, and my youngest daughter was one of the recipients of a scholarship.
Wow. All right. Christina, what are your plans? You're getting ready to be a senior?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am thinking about what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, which I hope when I establish a career that I'll be able to think about for my new family to get involved with the POAs again.
Good.
I'm thinking about maybe therapy with I've been influenced by my volunteering at the Mental Equine Health Therapy program, and I think I'm thinking about some type of therapy.
Well, good for you. You're a bright star, and we're pleased to have you on the show today. Congratulations on all that you've done, and good luck in the future. We'd love to have more pictures from all the competitions that you have ahead of you. What is the next one that you'll be headed to?
The next show we'll have is in Winona, Minnesota.
All right. Well, good luck, and you'll be taking both your horses?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're getting to that time where we're going to have to say goodbye. Pat, do you have any final words of advice or suggestions for people who may want to get involved?
Yeah, if you're interested in the POAs, just drive by a show, call up a breeder, go to the website, and give Joyce a call at the national office. There's a lot of friendly people that are willing to share their POAs with you.
All right.
And we've had kids that have come to the show, and we put them on a pony and put them in some walk trot classes, fixed them right up, and the next show they're there with their own pony.
That's perfect. That's what we love to hear. I appreciate all that the two of you are doing, especially getting rural youth involved today. Thanks for joining us, always on Horse Talk Live. Make sure you visit our Facebook page and give us a like. Until next time, we'll see you around the barn. I'm Lizzie Iverson for Rural TV.